What's up, people of YouTube? This is Troll here, bringing you guys another top 10 to my channel today. And today's top 10 is going to be about the top 10 villains, in my opinion, I guess you could say, favorite villains. The last time I made a top 10, I did the top 10 superheroes, so it only felt proper and appropriate to do a top 10 villains on my channel, so this is what we got. If you guys got anything that you want to see in the future, Black Ops 3 is literally right around the corner. We've got like 8 days, 7 days, something like that left. So, you know, get pumped. I'm pumped. I'm really excited. Looking forward to that. In the background, you do have Black Ops 3 gameplay. I think it's like 30 and something, like 30 and 4 maybe. I don't remember exactly, but it's pretty good gameplay, so enjoy that. So let's kick this list off with, at number 10, I have Harley Quinn. So, I only know Harley Quinn essentially from a little bit from the old TV show, but mostly I know Harley Quinn from the Arkham games, and in the Arkham games, they are, you know, those games are really, really good, so they are a good representation of what I feel like she should be as a character, and I really liked her role, especially in the second Arkham game. She was a little bit psychotic, and I mean, by a little bit, I mean a lot. Joker died, spoiler alert, or did he? And so Harley kind of just went off the deep end in the second Arkham game, and I just really liked her attitude, and she was just, you know, you don't see too many female villains that just play that role as well as she did, or fill in that role as well as she did, because she's animated, but you know what I mean. Moving on to number 9, we have the Arkham Knight from Batman Arkham Knight. So I only know Arkham Knight from that game. I did not get to finish the game, so I do not know his actual identity. I will probably look that up on the computer sometime, because I'm about to sell my copy of that game, sadly. But the Arkham Knight character was really, really cool. I liked how he kind of matched Batman in a lot of ways as far as technology and battle tactics. So it was pretty cool to see somebody be able to compete with Batman. I feel like, you know, him being at my number 9 spot on my list was a good place for him to be. Moving on to number 8, we have Loki. So some people don't like Loki, but I thought that his way of taking over was a little bit different from what you see most of the time with supervillains in essentially any supervillain movie or game. Most of the time you see supervillains just kind of, you know, attack with brute force and take it over by using pure strength and power and brutality, I guess. And that didn't happen with Loki. Loki was born into the family. He didn't really get what he wanted, and he just kind of took over from the inside out and just flipped it around. And he was really, really smart. I mean, there's smart villains, but he was really, really smart, and that was another thing that was pretty cool about his character and the way that he took over and became the villain that he was. Moving on to number 7, we have Venom, and Venom is like a parasite. It has to have a host in order to stay living and successful. So when Venom was brought into the series, I first found out about Venom a little bit through the Spider-Man TV series back in the day, and then mostly through Spider-Man 3, which I know a lot of people don't feel like that's a good representation of him, but you know, I've watched some videos and stuff, and I know what Venom is, and Venom is a really, really scary thought. It's a scary thing to think about what Venom truly is and what Venom is truly capable of. So, you know, Venom attaches to a host, and it just turns them evil, essentially, and it's like an alien life form, and it's pretty strong, and it's got a lot of traits that Spider-Man has in a way. So, I mean, it was a good matchup to Spider-Man. Moving on to number 6, we have Bane from the Batman Dark Knight Rises, and I thought that Bane played a really, really good character in the Batman series for the first time that I had ever seen. I had seen Bane in previous Batman movies, and you know, he was such a minor character. He was just that big dude who beat people up, or you know, in TV shows he was just that big dude who beat people up, but he wasn't like that in this game, and I think that was pretty cool. Or in this movie, I think that was pretty cool that they put him in there like that and as like the main villain, and he played it really, really well. The actor for him, whoever it was, did a really good job as well. Moving on to number 5, we have Ultron. So I have not seen the Avengers Age of Ultron, but I did do some looking up on Ultron, and Ultron's scary. It's like you can never get rid of him. He just takes over everything. He's essentially a computer. It's what it feels like a Terminator type dude, and he just, you know, just ruins everything and just can essentially control the world and is almost unstoppable in its own sense. So Ultron is just it or he or whatever it is just a crazy insane thought that something like that exists. Moving on to number 4, we have Scarecrow. So Scarecrow really captured my attention and caught my interest within the Batman Arkham games, just like, you know, some of the other characters on this list. And I feel like Scarecrow did a really good job. Like, they did a really good job with Scarecrow, because when I played, I think it was Asylum, when I first had to play in that realm of Scarecrow's like nightmare or dream or whatever world that was, where he injects you with that serum or whatever, it was scary to say the least. And I mean, I wasn't a little kid or anything like that. I think I was like in 8th grade or maybe 9th grade. So I mean, I wasn't a little kid. I was a high schooler. I was a teenager, and it actually scared me. And I don't play really any games that actually scare me really. So it was just kind of, I feel like that was a good thing for the Batman series. Moving on to number 3, we have Carnage. Now, Carnage is essentially Venom and Spider-Man mixed together, but with a little bit more personality. And Carnage is ridiculously scary. His strength and like so hard to kill. Like, the fact that Venom and Spider-Man had to team up at one point to take on Carnage and to defeat him just kind of says something. Moving on to number 2, we have the infamous Green Goblin. So, just like anybody knows, that Green Goblin is Spider-Man's arch enemy. That is the guy that everybody knows that Spider-Man is his #1 enemy that he's ever had to deal with is the Green Goblin. There's also the Hobgoblin, I believe, which is like his son or like somebody who follows him, just depending on what you read or watch, the comics, TV shows, movies, you know, whatever. But the Green Goblin is it's pretty cool, the fact that he has the little flying jet thingamajig that he stands on, and his grenades and the blades that come out of his thingamajig that he flies and stands on. I don't have a word for it, so I'm just going to call it the thingamajig. But Green Goblin is at number 2. Moving on to number 1, we have the Joker. So I kind of figured that people would, you know, just know that the Joker had to be number 1, because it's the Joker. Like, come on. He's good in essentially every movie, essentially every game he's pretty good, and essentially every show the Joker has been good. And he's unpredictable and crazy and wild, and you don't really know what he's up to. And he's always trying to pull something new. So the Joker was, in my opinion, a really good character to put at number 1 on here. You know, all-time #1 enemy for Batman, just like the Green Goblin is for Spider-Man, but way worse than the Green Goblin, in my opinion. I feel like if the Green Goblin and the Joker 1v1, I'm pretty sure that the Joker would win. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please remember to like and subscribe. It helps me out a lot, helps me grow, helps me get out there. My channel is almost at 300 subs. I would like to reach that before Black Ops 3. I only need 5 more subscribers. So, you know, if you guys see this video and you want to share this with your friends, I'd really appreciate that. The video that you're going to see on screen will be the last that I made, and deuces.